All right, so in this video, I'm going to cover the winning cold email framework and like the four key attributes I've noticed across all great, all the best performing emails we've ever launched. After sending millions of cold emails, or like 10 million cold emails at this point, these are the four main attributes we've seen that have just always worked, right? And you can build your framework around this. And yeah, and when I'm talking about these key attributes, this is sort of like the structure of the email itself. We're not talking about like this particular offer. We're talking about how you can actually structure your email for whichever offer you're running, right? But yeah, let's just dive into it. So first thing is going to be low word count, and across the board, the best performing cold emails we've ever launched have literally been one sentence cold emails. Like the shortest emails we've sent have always been the best cold emails, like across the board, right? Like sub 40 words. You could just have like a one line cold email, add some more context in the PS section. These short cold emails, they outperform any like super crazy AI personalization that has like a longer email. This outperforms it every single time, right? Zero fluff words. Every word has meaning. Yeah, no meaningless personalization. No saying like, oh, saw you went to Harvard. Oh, saw you're from LA. Blah blah blah. And the preview text is really intriguing, and that's why these one sentence cold emails work really well, is because you can basically see the full email in the pretext, right? And if you have a really solid offer, which I'll mention in the next points, then it's gonna be really enticing to click on that email, right? And then once they click on that email, they can read out the full email, and then let's say you add some like a case study to the PS or some more info about your offer in the PS, or you can even throw a personalization in the PS if you want to. Then that creates like a really solid email. It's super easy to read, super fast because these people are super busy, especially with the volume of people receiving cold emails increasing over time. Speed is key here, right? You want them to be able to read the email in like 5 seconds, make a decision in the brain if this is something of interest, and then have them reply, right? So low word count. Next is gonna be offering that heavy upfront value, and this is where the low word count email, where all you're mentioning in the email is the heavy upfront value that you're going to present, is like absolute killer, right? So for example, if you're just offering, a foot in the door offer, something like, we'll create a free email campaign for you. We'll create a free outbound campaign for you. Whatever free part of your service you can offer. Literally just asking that right off the gates. Obviously, you can't. If it's too vague, then it won't work. But if you make it specific enough to where they can understand exactly what they're getting, maybe put some more context in the PS, then that's just absolute killer email here. But yeah, it should be clearly valuable. It should be something that people typically want, or it solves a legitimate pain point that they have. Typically, it's just a part of your service. You don't. I mean, you could offer your full service for free, but depending on how much fulfillment you're willing to expend, then you could do that. Or if it costs a lot of money, then it's up to you, right? And then yeah, the ICP, they should know that this typically does cost money. Like whatever you're offering costs money, and that there's also actual fulfillment bandwidth with this, right? And yeah, it's not just like another Google Doc or case study that you're offering, because they know if you're sending over another Google Doc, then it could be sent out at scale, right? So there's nothing special about it. Next is going to be extremely relevant offer to your ICP. My camera's lagging a lot. Apologies about that, but anyways, so yeah, the course you're messaging has to be extremely relevant to the ICP. If you're sending an email that just has nothing to do with them at all, or it's just not relevant to their situation at all, then it's useless. It's like if you're reaching out to, let's say, Microsoft and you're offering, I don't know, like e-commerce data management, like then that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So obviously you have to be mentioning something relevant, and you have to actually tailor your offer, the way you present your offer, to the specific segment that you're messaging, right? So like the specific industry or niche, you have to make the copy around their specific industry. Of course, you can also address a pain point that's specific to their industry, right? And then also leverage a hyper relevant case study. If you have, let's say, for example, if you have a case study with, you know, pet brands from Australia, then you can target specific pet brands from Australia and then write your copy around that, right? So that's super high, that's super relevant. Then that always works super well, right? And the final thing is going to be excellent social proof. I mean, this is pretty simple. If you have amazing results, then it's going to be pretty simple, pretty easy to get clients, pretty easy to get people's attention. Of course, you always want your case study to be industry relevant, right? I mean, unless if you've worked with some massive company and your offer is kind of just industry agnostic, then that could be fine. But let's say you're offering something that's more saturated, like email marketing or SEO, then you want to make sure it's really a hyper relevant case study specific to the industry, and you want to make sure it's actually a good case study. You want to make sure that you're actually mentioning a known company within the industry. Like, really, you don't want to just be saying, "Oh, we help some brand, or we help some company, or we help some organization," and not mention their name. A big part of the social proof is actually mentioning who you worked with, right? Because then it just makes it seem more legit. And then also, if it's if it's a company that most people know, then that's even more. That's even further social proof, right? They'll trust you more. And then you should be mentioning a specific monetary result, or it could be like a percentage increase, or how you help them save more time or money, etc. It's all dependent on your offer, but you also want to mention it within the reasonable time frame you did so, right? Because if you say you like case studies where it's like over 5 years, it's just mentioning that over email. It's like it's such a long time span. It's just too much. Ideally, like the perfect time frame is between like 30 days to 90 days. That's when you want to be mentioning a case study, or mentioning like the result within a case study. Any more than that, you're kind of pushing it, right? So, I mean, of course, having super long term cases is great. You worked with a client for over 5 years and an amazing result. That's amazing. But it's just too out of like the scope of quantifiableness for the prospect to really understand like what went into that. So really, you want to make it like have between like a 30 to 90 day time span there, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of it. Ideally, like really, all you need to just focus on fundamentals, right? No fluff, just straight to the point. You know, super short offer or super short email. Heavy upfront value. You want to have an offer that's super relevant to your ICP, and then you want to have great social proof, right? You can sort of mix and match these things, but I would say if you have at least 3 of the 4 of these, specific attributes that you have with an email, then you'll be good. But yeah, keep it simple. Stop overcomplicating outbound. Don't add links, pictures, over the top AI personalization. It's all unnecessary, right? Just focus on the core fundamentals of crafting a message with true market resonance, and you will thrive, right? So, hope this helps.